Okay, well, I tried to write today's thing down, but I have like 500 different pens here at my desk and none of them work. None of them are working right now. So, I'm going to start doing this more as like a practice to keep myself out of depression because I've been feeling it, especially today. I'm going to start doing my synchronicity little daily things. Little daily things. I'm going to start with the day we were just coming out of, which is Monday, November 24th, 2025. I've been feeling insane today. And there's some pretty major aspects happening in the chart, which I'm hoping is making me crazy. And it's not just me being crazy. It's probably just me being crazy. But also I think this probably plays into it, or I'm just telling myself that it is. But anyway, we have Venus conjunct retrograde Mercury today in Scorpio, which is like super blast from the past energy, like bringing up. So Scorpio, first of all, is like the deep depths of despair and the taboo. It's not just those things. It gets a bad rap. Scorpio's badass. It's pretty hardcore, but you have to kind of like be edgy to get through it. I don't know. It's the edgy part of yourself because it's all the stuff, parts of you that have seen stuff, been through some stuff. Anyway, so here you have Venus, who's not really comfortable in the sign of Scorpio. Venus is just trying to get through like the heaviness of Scorpio. And then you have Mercury, which is retrograding and coming together. And so Mercury is like communication, right? So it's communication, it's thinking, it's like writing, it's all these things. Backtracking. So oftentimes when Mercury retrogrades, things from the past come up, people from the past come up, and when it conjoins Venus, which is representative of the feminine, of love, of money, of, all those things, an Venusian theme, then we have themes like really heavy, edgy themes from the past coming back up, having to do with those subjects, right? With like money and relationships, sex, death, the deeper things. So yeah, we got that going on for us today. Also, I'm noticing that the sun is conjunct my north node, which is actually a great sign since I'm working on this. I haven't popped on this channel for quite a while, and this is like maybe this is a good omen for me, where a Mercury conjoins Venus. It's not, so I made it sound like it's bad, and it can be intense. Like I've definitely had an intense day having to do with thinking of things of the past and letting go, and so, like really difficult cycles, friendships and stuff. But it doesn't have to be. It can be like there are pros and cons to every transit. So anyway, that's kind of the general energy, and we can use it to rehash stuff that needs to be rehashed, and like finally put the bow on it, put a button on it, tie it. Anyway, I don't know what I was gonna say. I just lost my train of thought. But yeah, so this is like good moving forward energy. Even if it's really intense. I'm also noticing that on the same day today, Mars has been squaring the nodes. So that's pretty intense energy. Mars is in the sign of Sagittarius. Sagittarius is, it's interesting. The first thing that pops into my mind is like religious fanaticism. So Sagittarius is responsible for like their spiritual, more like soul searchy aspects of ourselves. And with Mars there, Mars is like the planet, the god of war, and like kind of looking for a fight. And we've seen plenty of that this year, right? Today was not a great day for a certain people in positions of power. And I can't say that I hate to see that. I think, my humble opinion of it, I feel like pretty much everyone agrees at this point, though, that like reform just is overdue, and hardly anyone trusts anything that's going on anymore. Even people, anyway, I'm not gonna get into that right now, but yeah, so we've got that energy going on. But I'm also thinking about like the religious fanatic types that will just like not let go of certain thoughts or ideologies just because somebody said something that maybe doesn't even align with what their beliefs are or whatever. I don't know. It's just people holding on too tightly to their beliefs and willing to like fight for them even when they're like directly squaring and opposing what is aligned, right, with truth, which is the nodes, right? The direction, and the nodes represent like fate and destiny and direction and whatnot. Anyway, so collectively that's going on, and you might feel that in your chart if you have anything having to do with 14 degrees of Sagittarius and several other signs, but I'm gonna move on from that just because I'm gonna do 2 days today because I'm gonna start doing this every day, and I just wanted to cover today because this was such a big transit day of the week. Anyway, I also think with the Mars aspect, with squaring the nodes, it can be the religious fanaticism holding on too tight, but I can also see it being like, in a positive light, people being like ready to let go, use that Mercury Venus aspect to then use their Mars to let go of past beliefs that they've held on too tightly to. And Sagittarius is the sign of exploration, like greater frontiers and vistas in the distance. And so it's like the soul searchy thing where it's like, okay, I'm ready to cut this off and start anew. And I'm hoping that that's part of what this energy is for a lot of people, including myself. Honestly, I mean, how disillusioned I've been, most people. Okay. So I wanted to do a little flip open in this book I have called Pop Science, just a random song. It's just filled with different pop songs. Talks about the history of them. Does Your Mother Know That You're Out by ABBA? Wait, I love ABBA and I don't know this song. Excuse me? I'm just going to read a little excerpt because I don't know this and I want to... Okay. But ABBA certainly takes no prisoners with their conversational gambits, rapidly switching from lightly flirting and dancing with the person their remarks are addressed to, and then asking them whether their mom knows that they're openly gay. Whoa. You might hope a band with such a significant LGBTQ following would know not to broach this topic so lightly, but this may be a consequence of the band's experiences among the often more liberal attitudes pervasive in Sweden. Then again, it's possible that they are aware of significantly improving attitudes towards LGBTQ equality. Honestly, you know what comes to mind? Bubba. I'm not going to say anything else, but I've been thinking about, okay, I am going to say something else. The suppressed self, the suppressed true self, when it is suppressed, people turn evil. I'm just saying. People turn evil when they suppress their sexuality. And that's why I could go on a whole rant about that forever, right? Like you could just be a normal person and just appreciate yourself and have other people know who you are. I know it's difficult. It's easier said than done for a lot of people, but like, or you can just sit on it forever and hide it. And then you're a weird freak about it because you think that you're naughty and you're so shameful about it. And you have to go about in weird ways to get what you really want instead of just being honest about it and like treating people well. And that's my 2 cents on the matter. But anyway, yeah. And that's the thing for today. It's like these ideologies, especially with like how sexuality has ruled the generations, has ruled the eons, and it's been used to control people forever. And it's still being used like at a very, very fundamental level. If you're going to control the way somebody like loves and the way that somebody's like you just can't control that. And so it just becomes suppressed, and either you get evil or you make other people evil or you contribute to them. I mean, everyone has their own free will. Anyway, I'm going off on a bajillion different rants right now, but that's what comes to mind for today. And I've been thinking about the Bubba thing, and I've been thinking about Vance's eyeliner, and I've been thinking about like all the Botox that's happening everywhere, all to men and women, to the theys, the thems, the everyone's, and like just how androgynous everything already is, and how like mixed up, like it just feels like there's so much suppression. Then there are the people who just like do what they want and they're proud about it, and then they just like are the fierce protectors of people who are being targeted as being these predator types by the people who are the actual predators themselves. So anyway, I digress. I don't even know if anyone's ever gonna watch this or whatever. I'm gonna just draw a little bit of I'm gonna draw an archetype card for today, and then I'm gonna move into Tuesday, tomorrow day, because I'm gonna start doing this on the daily for my own mental health. I need something to look forward to, some kind of like routine. Okay. We have the poet. Ooh. I just listened to this really beautiful poem today that was just like someone on social media that was just like reciting a poem that they'd written, but like they weren't reading it, they just were reciting it, and it was beautiful. It was about interesting. Whoa, this is really synchronistic actually. So it was about so I'm in Utah, and the poem was about people in Utah and about like their religious fanaticism. And this poet, I guess, was from a bigger city, and they're talking about the stars and like how you can't see the stars in the city, but when you come out here, even in the city, you can still see the stars enough to make you somewhat obsessed with a god, and is what they said. And I loved that. But then they went on about how there are so many people in this blood red wave that basically just don't let people like them, who they were in their poem talked about being LGBTQ, about being a person of color, being like, you know, they're all these part of these minority groups and the way that they're experiencing Utah. And then they talk about these like Mormon women, like the religious women that have like they've come across in poetry, like I don't know, in the circles that they run in, that have not been overcome by this blood red wave, that have reached out and have been kind, not for any other reason, just other than for humanity. And it was a really beautiful poem. So that's really, really synchronistic if you ask me. That was something I watched not even like an hour ago, and it made me like weep. I shed a tear. So it's just this idea, that synchronistic idea of like the religious fanatics letting go of these past like delusional things that like we've all have them. Like I grew up in the same way, and it's hard to let go of things that you really, really think were true, and like you've based so much of your idea of the world on. But I think people are starting to do that more as they come to see how holding on to these narratives and these ideas, especially as they come out more and more to be harmful and to be untrue, and just how duped we've all been on so many levels, to find their humanity and to allow themselves to cut off those fanatic types of ideas. That's a train, if you can hear that. Yeah. So that was very synchronistic, actually. I kind of love that. I didn't even mean it. I didn't even mean to make that happen. Okay. I'm also going to draw one tarot card for today. Not a full spread. Not a full spread, I didn't think. I just want to see what today ends up being. Like, what will tomorrow be is my question, because dang, today sucked, honestly. Oh, 8 of Cups, which I forget even what that is. You have this traveler walking away from 3 cups under the moonlight. There's a river and water flowing. It's emotional. There's a distant vista of mountains or whatever. I'm just gonna look at it really quick. 8 of Cups. Oh my gosh, why? Okay, 8 of Cups upright. It is time to walk away from a disappointing situation or relationship. You wanted it to work, but alas, it hasn't. The only option is to move on with your life. Honestly, and that's been the theme of today too. Like, I'm so tired of having to move on with my life from disappointing relationships. Like friendships, like letting go of familial tiffs that really, really hurt, or, you know, all these things, but we have to just, this is what life is over and over and over again, unfortunately. And fortunately, I saw some meme, cool art thing, actually. It was like a meme, but it was kind of just like a cool art piece, and it was like flashing back between like the craziest looking, most stressful looking traffic you've ever seen in like nature, and it said, I have died many times and still woke up the next morning. And anyway, unfortunately, that's very Scorpionic, if I do say so myself. So anyway, and today's been, for me, thinking a lot about some really, really sad and hard relationships that I lost earlier this year. More on that later. But yeah, so on to the next thing we're gonna do tomorrow. I don't even know. I mean, it's gonna be much similar to today, but let's look at the chart. We've got, what do we have here? I don't even know what I'm looking at. I mean, it's almost the same chart, right? Well, the moon moves from out of Capricorn, which, by the way, was all up in my stuff. Like, I have so much in Capricorn, and it's in my 12th house. Mental illness. So it's moving out into Aquarius tomorrow. And Aquarius is very innovative. It's very like, it's also kind of like cold and isolated a lot of the time, but it's very like hopeful for the future and for humanity. It wants to help people and make sure people are well and treated justly. So there's a sense of justice coming in. Hopefully to our emotional worlds. Is it making any aspects to, it will be squaring Jupiter. Sorry. No, it won't be. That'll be squaring my Jupiter. I need to get my stuff together. Don't listen to that. Okay. I should have, you know what? I'll just have to do another video for this one. Unless you don't mind sticking around. I won't. Actually, I won't. I'm just going to take a second to look at this. I follow so many tarot readers, they'll just be like, take their time, and I don't mind it. Well, Venus will be quincunxing Chiron, which it already kind of is today, but it will be more exact tomorrow. So this is more of that like disconnect of like this looking for love in a dark place, and being kind of at odds, like unable to really fully heal the situation, like definitely feel the wound of it with this direct connection, but also like the thing about quincunx is that it's hard for that energy to find resolve. Excuse me. Anyway, that's going on. So Saturn's gonna go direct this week. I think on like Thursday or Friday. I'll have to double check. But it's been backtracking in Pisces. So that's another thing of like, disillusionment. Pisces is ruled by Neptune. This all rules like illusion, delusion. It rules like conspiracy, things that are hidden, secrets, all that. And it's been backtracking for a moment, and when it goes direct, I expect we're probably going to see a lot come to light. It's probably not going to be pleasant. It's going to be pretty intense, I'm imagining, just because based on what we've seen in the news cycle recently, like there's a lot coming up to the surface. It's like a giant zit that's ready to pop, and I think that when Saturn goes direct, it's gonna be that zip pop moment. So sorry for the graphic visualization, but it feels like an appropriate metaphor. Yeah. As for now, that's what I'm seeing. I'm just gonna draw a card for tomorrow from this deck. The Vow. But I'm seeing it kind of upside down when I looked at it. Like this. Okay. So you've got like a white bird, which is like promise and purity. And then there's like two hands. Are those two hands? That are kind of like, yeah, they're holding hands tightly. Yeah, the vow. Upside down. So I'm thinking of this in two ways. I'm thinking one of them of like, okay, understanding, like coming to an understanding of like which vows have been broken. Some of the things that have been disappointing us, coming more to terms of it. Like what about it is unhealthy and why it's probably best it's over. I'm also thinking like it's like it could be that it's directed toward me, so I'm feeling like a vow, like with what I'm doing right now. This is the most, I don't know, I've kind of in my depressive stupor fallen out of any kind of routine or habit, and just doing this has been, I'm already like, oh, I just need to start doing this and like be consistent, and I need to start taking care of myself and make a vow to myself to make changes. I like the yellow color around it. It's very like burst of lighty. Yeah, I really like that. I'm gonna open this book again. Random page, let's go. Oh my gosh. The song that I landed on, Will It Be Lonely This Christmas? By Mud. I don't know if I've even heard this song either. Wow. Oh, there's like an infographic here that says number of people over 65 in the UK. Oh, and people who report being lonely. Okay, so just still too many people being lonely, but it's the number of people over 65 in the UK, and that's the number of people who report being lonely. That makes me so sad to think about. I'm gonna be alone this Christmas, and honestly, yeah. I'm really feeling these synchronicities, honestly. I'm gonna read a little bit out of this. Okay, in 1974, Chapman, M, and Chin investigated whether it would be lonely this Christmas. Through the study, though the study was rooted in one specific instance of a partner leaving, and particularly attendant issues surrounding temperature, it's taken as a given that the absence of the partner will negatively impact the ability of the individual to regulate their body temperature. Leaving this various correlation aside, the report's authors hit on a sad social reality for thousands of people. Looking at their home country of the UK, research by age in 2017 found that 928 older people were lonely around the time of Christmas. That's so sad. I can't even think about that. While making what can only have been intended as an earnest and deliberate effort to draw attention to this plight, Chapman and Chin's warning that it would be cold without a partner this Christmas can be seen as a slight exaggeration. While some older people do struggle with this, prisoners are now the least likely group in the UK to be in poverty. Oh my gosh, if that don't just say everything. And even receive extra winter payments for heating, meaning that hopefully, despite what Chapman and Chin say, they should not be cold. Ooh. Anyway. Oh, and then I guess like a link to get involved with. Oh, like befriending older people. I should do something like that this Christmas. I need to do more volunteer work. Absolutely. I think that would also help. I did last year and I need to dive back into it. But anyway, I'm not going to be cold this Christmas because I have a space heater and I hotbox my room. When I say hotbox, I do mean just fill my room with so much heat that I think it would just like take off the earth like a hot air balloon if it wasn't attached to the rest of the house. Also, I bought myself a new duvet this year. I've been wanting one for 10 years, a down duvet, and I have been loving it. So, I'll snuggle with myself. But anyway, no, I actually don't mind being alone. Not that I feel like there's any, like, honor in being so isolated or, individualistic. I think we need people still, but I feel like I'm pretty good at being alone these days. Honestly, maybe a little too good, and I need to get better at being social recently. But anyway, so that's that. There's a vow then to a vow. So vow, loneliness. Honestly, yeah, I've been like wallowing in my depression and stuff. And so I think I need to make a vow to myself to work on that and change my habits and not just wallow all the time and let myself get deeper and deeper into this. And also probably reach out to other people. I think that would really genuinely help me and help other people. I mean, that's what better way to feel connected. Like you're not alone. You don't have to feel lonely when you're able to do things for other people. We can help each other. And we should, especially now. I mean, especially all the time. But we're learning more and more that, our religious fanaticism isn't what's going to save us. It's each other. So, in my humble opinion, not to say that religion doesn't have its place. It's actually very beautiful, especially when it's used as it's taught. Okay. I digress. I'm going to draw a card for tomorrow. Okay, I've got this 10 of Cups reversed, which is really interesting. Why 10 of Cups reversed? 10 of Cups is like having everything you want, and like you got the family, you've got the money, you've got the joy, the emotional, your cup is filled. But in reverse, it's kind of like losing all of that or feeling a lack of it, which I think I definitely have been feeling. A lot of my depression has come from this. I don't know. I feel like I don't need to get into it. This is not my therapy place, but we all get into this 10 of Cups thing. Like, oh, what if I had these other things? Like, I haven't achieved enough. I don't have the things that I want. I guess probably a good step to having what you want is deciding what you want and making a vow to yourself to work on getting those things. And then also a vow to yourself just to take care of yourself, regardless of whether or not you get those things. Like, take care of yourself and others still. Okay, we've got... almost there. 10 of Cups reversed. Why? Oh, man, it's been a minute. You seek greater harmony and connection in your relationships. Look to your personal values. Do they match what you have created in your daily life? If not, create alignment by seeking out better relationships with others and yourself. So make that vow. Today is a good day to make that. Wait, let me see why today is a good day to make that vow. So Mars will still be squaring the nodes. So Tuesday, November 25th. Still squaring the nodes. It's conjunct Lilith, I'm noticing. Oh, wow. So Lilith is very like, I'm just gonna do it. Like, it's very like the rebellion femme. There's a whole mythology behind it, which I'm assuming a lot of people already know. But it's basically the dark femme. But when we say dark femme, we're just really saying, oh, a woman who won't take crap and just decides to do what she wants and needs to do for herself and for those around her. I don't know. The mythology goes deeper than that, but that's just what I'm going to say for now. And that is in Sagittarius. So you have this kind of rebellion, like, I'm going to do what I need to do kind of energy connected to Mars, squaring the nodes. So this is a good time to cut anything from the past to focus, refocus back on the future, which the North Node is in Pisces right now. So maybe it's about like, you know, letting go of old delusions, and then finding new ways to imagine your future. Coming up with new ways to do that. Yeah, also Chiron. Oh, never mind. That's my chart again. I really need to just look at this without my chart in it. What I just said is true for everyone. I was about to say something that's just for me. But anyway, yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I'll get back on here and start doing this. I hope. I want to be able to like strike consistency. I have some consistency in my life a little bit, some routine. That'd be really good for me. That'd be great for us all. Anyway, till next time. Thanks for listening.